Welcome to fishing Arrowhead. Today we'll be out on Embarrass Lake. It's just east of Walleye. Two easy accesses to the lake. Basically, it's kind of noted a little bit for walleye within the locals. There's Embarrass River flows right into it and just kind of washes feet into it, and that seems to be the place where everyone's fishing. So we'll try that, and we'll try some structure around some islands today, and we'll see how we do.
Embarrass Lake is a small 462-acre lake just east of Walleye. There are two nice public launches, one located off of Highway 135 and one in the city-owned campground. Max depth of the lake is 19 feet and water clarity is 5 feet. There is a healthy population of eater walleyes in this lake, along with many small northerns. The Embarrass River runs through the lake, and a popular spot to fish is where the river dumps in. This is a great early season lake to fish that will almost always produce a meal.
All right, well, Frank's got our first hit here on Embarrass Lake.
Really shaking its head, but it's not big. I wonder if it's a small northern or a eater walleye. Looks to be a little snake.
Oh yeah, there we go. Little one too.
Figures.
He was ambitious. Hey, he just hooked himself, so.
He's probably only about 12 to 14 inches, but there's a sunken log back there. He's probably hanging out in there. Yeah. Catch on an ultralight pole.
Start for the day anyway.
Yep.
Okay, Frank laid into another one here. Says it feels like a northern. And it is. I see him there at the surface. So you can see it's just a beautiful day out here too. Or I should say evening. The lake's like glass. A little bigger than the other one, but...
Oh, my jig gone.
Snapped you off?
Yep. A little bigger than the other one, but pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Fun fight on an ultralight pole again.
Yeah, for a first time on the lake, it's fun to get some action.
Yeah. Had a great night.
No kidding.
Pat's got on a nicer fish here. See what it is. It looks like a northern.
It's a northern. And now he's running. There we go.
Plenty of these guys hiding out near, isn't there?
Yeah, I didn't think we'd run into that many, but we have. Either way, I was due for a fish, so I'll take whatever I got.
Pat's using a Lindy with a gold spinner on it, and I'm using a green jig head. And there's a river that flows into Embarrass Lake here, and we're kind of just trolling along with that channel. There's a lot of feed washing in, so there's a lot of fish held up in here on the graph. But most of them seem to be northerns.
So just a little snake. And we'll put him back in here. There he goes. Alright. Just reeling up here because it's getting shallow, and this little feisty guy came up and took my line, and little he is. Oof.
We gotta start finding some real fish, Pat.
Yeah. I know there's some in this lake. I hear about it. Where they're at, I don't know. Yeah, that's a hammer handle for sure. We have another northern here.
Just like that in the shallow water.
They're liking these weeds.
2 feet of water here.
Oh, and he's a snake.
Just a snake.
Oof. Little guy. Feisty.
There he goes.
Just like that. Easy as can be. So we'll keep trolling around here, and like I said, maybe find a walleye here.
Never know. Big drop off on the other side of this island, so hopefully. Just like that, Pat's got himself another northern, it looks like.
Yeah, right here in about 5 feet of water.
I'm peeling some drag.
Yeah.
Might be a little better fish.
Can't get a whole lot of ground on him. He ain't coming up at all either, is he? Oh, that's gonna be a better northern.
There he is.
Wow. What was that, 5.5 feet of water?
Yeah, if that, 4 maybe.
Yeah, just dragging the lure right next to the boat. He's in some weeds here. Wouldn't say he's huge by any means, but
It's a good eating northern.
yeah, decent fight. Probably the bigger one we've had so far today.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Hopefully we get a little bigger and maybe turn into some walleye here eventually, but yeah, not a bad northern. All right, Frank just laid into one here. Feel like any size?
Not too big, no. Coming up easy now. 12 feet of water. Now a little bit of play. Nice walleye though. Wanna grab the net?
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. Perfect. Yeah, that's a good eater right there. Take that.
Probably about 13 inches.
Yeah, 13 I'd say.
You know, nice little fillet, probably a male.
Yep.
That's what you want to eat is the males. I mean, you're going to be a conservator anyway.
Yeah.
So, nice color on these fish. This lake's real dark. You can probably only see about 2.5 feet into it. So that always fish a little darker, a little brighter.
Yeah, that bog stained water, that produces a pretty fish. So, all right, well,
Maybe we'll get some more.
We'll string them up. All right, Frank just laid into another one here, and
this looks like a crappie or a rock bass.
Just starting to get a little darker here.
It's a stinking rock bass.
Ah. Well, I guess they got to eat too, huh?
I guess. Shaking his head a lot.
Yeah, either way, they're liking that little green jig, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, it's another nice walleye.
All right.
This one's a little bigger.
Yeah, he is a little bigger, isn't he?
That's probably ooh. Good thing I gave it to him that extra minute because he hit it real hard, but then I shut the motor off and gave him some slack. Jig just fell off him, but that's a
good walleye there.
The perfect eating walleye. If anybody ever wonders the size they should be keeping, this is probably a 14-inch walleye, and it's
Yeah, it might be 15, but either way, yeah,
that's perfect eater right here. Nice little shoulders on this fish. You can tell they're got a good forage base in this lake with the river running through it. I'm sure they get well fed. There's been seagulls eating minnows out here all day long, so minnows is probably your definite bait of choice. We're using chubs, and they're liking a slow presentation with the jig. That'll conclude our show out on Embarrass Lake. Fishing out here is pretty good. Some locals just showed up though and said that right about now is the time to fish this lake, right at the mouth of the, or at the river here where Embarrass River runs through it. Seems like it might be a night lake in that area, but we did hit a couple nice walleyes that are good eater size, and a bunch of snakes too. Yeah, quite a few of them. Yeah, another thing too is these guys are fishing right offshore, so if you find yourself without a boat, you can come down here and probably catch some quality walleye too. You know, just come down in the evening, don't need a boat, just throw a bobber out or drag a jig and you might have yourself a meal. Yeah, definitely.